everyone, and welcome to my creative mess. So what I'm going to be doing today is demonstrating a alternative card for this month's paper pumpkin. Now the rules that I've given myself are that I am allowed to have black and white cardstock, and glue, and everything that comes in my paper pumpkin kit. I'm not really letting myself have a lot else. So the first one that I thought of was using an A2 card. This one here is no good. So we're going to ignore that. So you would take a piece of cardstock. This is just plain black cardstock, 8.5 by 11, and I'm just going to cut it in half at 5.5 inches. So put it in here. Measure out to 5.5. Make sure it's straight and flush. Give that a nice trim. Take a extra piece and put it back there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to score it at 4.5, and I do have a bone folder down here, so we're going to use that. If you don't have this, you could measure and cut. And so my goal here is to see, if you buy the paper pumpkin, really, how many cards can you actually get out of it? This month's paper pumpkin advertised itself for 9, I believe. Yes, 9. And I want to see how many more we can get to. So, I've scored it, and then the best way to fold this is actually to fold it with the indent facing outwards. We're still not a perfectly square card. It's okay, I can trim that up. And I'm just going to give this a quick trim to make it a perfect card. And these are handmade, so everything's a little bit different every time, and that's okay. So I'm just going to straighten up that edge. There we go, that looks good. I've just got a scrap box down there. So with this, I'm going to use this beautiful cutout, and I'm going to use the glue dots, and I'm actually going to place them just like where the instructions said. So we've got, now what I'm using here is actually a dental tool. It works for me, it may not work for you. It's a dental pick, actually, and that's because my local liquidation store had it for a couple cents. So it was cheaper than buying anything branded. So put it down, and we'll just take off our glues. So I'm just going to put a bunch of glue dots down to make sure that this sticks. So we've got one there. So what I do is I just place them down, and then I just use that to slide off the cover. And another one here. Cute. And so these glue dots are tiny, but they do work. One in here, in the center of the card. Piece of paper covering. And so one of the reasons that I've allowed myself glue is that I fully expect to run out of glue dots and dimensionals, so I am going to actually probably have to supplement at some point with my own dimensionals. But that's okay. We're going to use up as much of this kit as we can. I may or may not end up making the box for my daughter. I did contact the company. They are going to ship out a replacement because of the issue I had with the crushed box. So that I do have the option to make one for my daughter, because I really want her to have a little treasure box. So just grab these glue dots, and the nice thing is you can totally customize this. I'm using only what comes in the kit because I want to see exactly how far you can get if this is your only investment. Plus, you know, some basic tools and supplies like glue. But if you have other stuff at home, of course, you could always add more. And my goal is to get at least 24 cards out of this kit. We'll see how far I go. I'd like it to be worth at least 24 cards. I think for me to be in Paper Pumpkin, I would probably have to be getting about 24 cards. Mind you, I do like getting the stamps and the sentiments and the little ink dots. So that might be what convinces me. I don't know, I'm not decided yet. I want to see how this goes. So there I have all my glue dots. I'm just going to turn this over. And I'm going to aim to put this flower here up at the top. Just kind of center that before I place it down. Make sure I'm happy with it. There you go. Then over here I have the hope. So I'm going to take my dimensionals. I'm going to use 3. The instructions said to use 4, but I'm doing something slightly different. So on the side here with the H, I need only 1. And then on the other side I need 2. And this is because I'm going to nestle something underneath it. So I want this space to account for that. So we just put those on, peel off the back ends. Get rid of that. So I'm going to center hope down in this corner. There we go, a nice popped up hope. And then on one of these, I'm going to take my ink and my stamping block, and the sentiment I'm going to use for this one on the outside is where there is hope. And I'm actually going to do an inside to this card. You could choose to leave yours blank, but I don't know, I like the idea. Plus, I'm going to use the envelopes, not as envelopes, but as actual card making material, because there's some very nice printed paper there. So, where there is hope, I don't have one of those fancy stamping tools, so I'm just using it with blocks in my hand. Put it down, be sure. Take it up. Ooh, that one didn't go so well. We're going to do another. We're going to do the back. Nope, I can't do the back. We're going to take another one. So we will just put this over here. And I will do it on one of these. And that happens sometimes. I'm a human being, I screw up. So, let's do this one without screwing up. That works for me. Then I will go ahead. I'm just using a baby wipe to clean off my stamps, because they're cheap and easy, just like me. So, and I'm just going to take the stamp off now and put it back on, because I have this habit of losing it if I don't. So, there you go. Throw that back on. Then I'm going to take 2 more dimensionals, and I'm just going to stick them on the back so that they're completely hidden. So that means laying up the flat sides so that they don't poke out. Taking off the back. There we go. And we're just going to tuck this so it nestles right under where there is hope. It just looks kind of like it's sticking out. Just see, yeah, we want to go about halfway, I think. There, where there is hope. And then I'm going to take a couple of these little nice shiny kind of sequins, and I'm just going to line them up with hope where I like them. Yeah, I'm happy with them there. And then we're actually going to do, because this is a black card, I need to do the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this envelope and I am going to cut it down to a piece that's 8 by 4. So, I'm come here, and to cut it down to 8x4, I'm just going to come here and take off the sides. So, cut one. Do that again now that I know that it's flat shelf. And don't do it wrong like I'm doing, because apparently this is what I like to do, is wreck my paper. So, because I know I'm going to have to trim that a bit, I'm just going to go a bit over 4 for now. Geez, 4 is big. So take that off, and then like I said, we're going to come fix up this side that I screwed up. I could really probably do with a new blade on my trimmer here. 4. And let me just lose my card momentarily, so I can determine for a fact. I really do. No, I don't want to go thinner. Okay, so I'm just going to clean up that one side, and then I'm not going to go much thinner than that. And if you screw up, go ahead and just retrim. You can always make the paper a little bit smaller. And all of these little trimmings are going to come here. And take off any of that that's going on. Just make sure that I'm square. There we go, nice and square. Then I'm going to come here and I'm just going to conservatively trim this white bit off. Because when I trim this one here down to 8, I am going to keep that nice section of cardstock aside, because I can still use that. Then I'm going to turn this one here, and since we know it's 8, half is 4, I'm just going to score it at 4, and this time I'm just going to use this one because it's thin paper. Fold it in half, make sure it's nice and even. That's good. Really need a new blade. Get rid of this. Hit the phone, because that's always fun. And I've got some wet glue here. So I'm going to come in with this. I'm going to glue one side. Wonder why my glue isn't working. And if my glue stops working, usually I just use this to pick it out. Sometimes I have quite a small hole in this, so sometimes it dries while I'm working. And I'm not going to use a lot of wet glue. And I just like wet glue that isn't, you know, affordable. So I'm going to line this up where I want it to be on the inside, and close the card on it so that it's pressed to where I want it to be. And because this is wet glue, I do have a chance to do a little bit of adjustment if I need to, which I definitely do. So sit here and do a little bit of adjustment before it's tacked down too well. Like I said. There we go. Close it up. And then use this glue here. Like that. Close that up. Push it down. Open it up. Now, as you can see, what we have and I need to get that right into the corner there. So, Okay, so this is wet glue, so you got a chance to move it a little bit. Get that nice and in and marked down. And then the other one I'm going to do is I'm going to take the There Is Faith, throw that one onto my block, ink it up, and place it nice and in the center where I want it. There we go. So there's my card. Where there is hope, there is faith. Thank you.